Let's now talk about a couple of other pieces. There is the weekly, monthly goals. So your weekly goal is 1 hour per week per patient, and to move your patient one column over, not more and not less. We're not looking for you to spend 3 hours the first week with a patient and then have no time left for them. Your other goal, extremely important, is to connect with the patient and to keep them healthy emotionally and physically. At the end of every 2 months, you're going to go back to that care plan and you're going to add what you accomplished over the 2-month period. Some frequently asked questions that come up. Patients say that they don't need anything. You're supposed to find something that they need before you call them. We talked about that. That means research around their diagnosis, options in their area, call them to let you know that you find something. This also may mean that they haven't developed a great relationship with you. So you're going to circle back and kind of try to create that relationship again. Sometimes that means that you may have to wait a week or two and then call them and say, hey, can we do a Zoom? Can we try to do face-to-face? Can we talk about some of the things? And all the pieces that we talked about in the emotional aspect usually means you haven't addressed that enough if the patient does not want to meet with you weekly. Again, the goal of this is that they are supposed to be looking forward to this weekly session. You might want to speak with their family members and say, what do they need? She's telling me she doesn't need anything. Do you think there's something she needs in the home? And once you create that connection, you may want to have a Zoom with the family member, whether it's the daughter or the son, on a weekly basis. Give them support. You might want to find new goals to work on together with the patient. You would ask them if they want therapy to help with mindfulness or grounding, etc. The second thing that comes up as a frequently asked question is, what if an item is not covered with insurance, such as AIDS? In this case, we would tell you to find out if they have a secondary insurance, see if that covers it. Look into foundations for the diagnoses, look into charities. Now, the last piece that we're going to cover in this training is going to be, how can you help patient with medical supplies? So, for example, how do you get the patient what they need? Let's say the patient needs medical equipment. They say, you know what, I really need, a shower bar. Okay, so your first thing, all these patients have Medicare. So the first piece is that you want to find out if this is a covered item from Medicare. So you're going to call Medicare, you're going to have the patient's chart open in front of you, so you'll have their Medicare number, and you're going to ask them if they cover it. When you're on the phone with Medicare, you're going to ask for a provider for this item in that area. So who delivers a shower bar for this patient? Now, then you're going to check for the preferred provider list. So we're going to talk about that once you get to the resources piece. And meaning we didn't address this is in another video, but you're going to check if there's a preferred provider list that provides this item. But if not, if they do not have, it's not in green on that little Asana card, or it's not on a preferred provider, then you would call the provider that Medicare offers and make sure that they accept the patient, make sure that they work in the patient's area, make sure that they accept the patient's insurance, and find out the requirements for the item. Usually the provider will say, let's say you call, DME Supplies North, and they say, sure, we can deliver a shower grab item for that patient, but we need a prescription from the doctor. Your next job is to call the patient's doctor, ask them for a prescription, have them set up a visit with the doctor if they don't haven't yet, and you're going to get the requirements for this item. And you're also going to keep following up to make sure that the end of the day, the patient gets what they need and they have a shower grab delivered in their home. Remember, as you're working on this, you're still calling them, you're still maintaining that weekly connection, you're still creating that emotional bond. Best of luck, and thank you for working with us.